FIFA World Cup to fearless newcomers. When the world comes together under one roof and speaks the same language, there can only be one common factor: football. Reaching a historic milestone with 48 nations competing on football's grandest stage, the biggest tournament in football history. It's the 2026 FIFA World Cup. From football powerhouses to fearless newcomers, every nation arrives with one dream: to lift the most coveted trophy in world football. Africa stands proud, sending 10 of its strongest contingent to the global stage. From established giants to rising contenders, the continent stars are ready to showcase their talent, passion, and determination to billions around the world. For the debutants, this is more than a tournament. It's history in the making. New flags, new stories, and new heroes will emerge as they take their first steps onto football's greatest stage. The United States, Canada, and Mexico awaits the world to witness unforgettable moments, stunning goals, and the unifying power of the beautiful game. 48 teams, one trophy, endless possibilities. The FIFA World Cup 2026, where dreams become legends. It's time for the Mundial.
Ten teams, one continent, one dream. For the first time in FIFA World Cup history, Africa will have 10 representatives at the tournament. And this is not just about participation. It is time Africa genuinely believes it can actually produce a World Cup finalist, or possibly a champion of the world. From Morocco's historic semi-final run in 2022 to Senegal's golden generation, from Ghana's exciting young stars to Ivory Coast's resurgence and South Africa's emotional return, the continent heads into 2026 with more depth, more talent, and more belief than ever before. So today on 54 Football X, we're breaking down all 10 teams that would be representing the African continent at the World Cup, but mainly focusing on the continent's biggest hopes: Morocco, Senegal, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and not forgetting South Africa. We'll look at their squad, stats, key players, strength, weakness, and realistic chance of going deep in the tournament. Can Africa eventually conquer the world? Morocco. Let's start with Africa's biggest hope in Morocco. In 2022, Morocco changed African football forever by becoming the very first side to play in the semi-final of a FIFA World Cup, defeating Belgium, Spain, and Portugal in one of the greatest underdog runs football has ever seen in the round leather game. But here is the scary part: Morocco might actually be better now than they were in Qatar. During qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, Morocco were absolutely dominant. 8 matches they played, 8 wins they had, 22 goals were scored, only conceding 2 goals in the process. That is ridiculous consistency. And according to FIFA statistics, Morocco are now unbeaten in 22 World Cup qualifiers since 2015. This is one of the greatest qualifying runs in African football history. This team is built differently. Defensively, they are elite. Tactically, they are disciplined. And individually, they have world-class players. Achraf Hakimi remains one of the best attacking fullbacks in football history. Yassine Bono is still among the best goalkeepers in the world. Sofiane Amrabat gives them aggression and control in midfield. And they are now even more creative with Brahim Diaz. What makes Morocco dangerous is balance. Most African teams in the past rely heavily on flair and athleticism. Morocco combines that with European tactical structure. They can defend deep, they can dominate possession, they can counter-attack, and most importantly, they no longer fear anybody. You did see that at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. But there's pressure now, yes, because they are no longer going to be seen as the underdog. Morocco were recently described as carrying a heavy burden of expectation because after 2022, the world now expect them to perform again. In Qatar, they shocked the world. In 2026, nobody will underestimate them anymore. Still, if there is any African team that can actually reach the semi-finals again, or even the final, Morocco as the best chance. Now let's talk about Senegal, arguably the most complete squad in Africa. Some analysts actually believe Senegal have a stronger overall squad compared to Morocco right now. And honestly, it is hard to argue. Senegal qualified unbeaten. Physically, they are terrifying. Tactically, they are organized. And mentally, they believe they belong to one of the best teams in the world. Remember, this is the same country that actually shocked the defending champions France at the 2002 World Cup and reached the quarterfinals. Now, they return with even more depth. And offensively, Senegal have explosive attackers, the likes of Nicolas Jackson, Ismail Assar, and Iliman Ndiaye. Unlike previous African teams that have actually depended on one superstar, Senegal's strength is collective. Even with Sadio Mane aging, they still have quality everywhere. What makes Senegal dangerous is physical dominance. Against European teams, African sides have struggled most times tactically or mentally. Senegal removes that disadvantage because they can actually be very physical and also try to overpower their elite opponent. They press aggressively, they transition quickly, and defensively, they're extremely hard to break down. The concern is the consistency in attack. Sometimes Senegal creates chances but fails to finish games early. And in knockout football, that can actually become very, very dangerous. Still, this squad has quarterfinal or even semi-final potential. Do not be surprised if Senegal becomes Africa's deepest team at this tournament. Ghana. Every African nation still remembers 2010, one penalty kick away from becoming Africa's first ever World Cup semi-finalist before heartbreak against Uruguay. That moment still hurts across the continent. But Ghana enters 2026 with a completely new generation. This team is younger, faster, more fearless, and far more attacking than previous Ghanaian squads. The star of this team appears to be Antoine Semenyo. He can dribble, he can score, he can create chances, and he thrives under pressure. And there is Thomas Partey, bringing experience and control in the midfield for the Black Stars of Ghana. Now, here is an underrated statistics. Jordan Ayew finished the qualification with 7 assists, the highest in the African qualifying series. This is to tell you that this team actually have something important. The Ghanaian team creates chances. The issue will be balance. Defensively, Ghana can still become vulnerable against elite opponents. Sometimes they attack with too much freedom and leave spaces behind them. But tournament football is unpredictable, and Ghana might be Africa's ultimate wild card. If the Ghanaian attack catches fire at the World Cup, Ghana could become one of the most dangerous teams in the tournament. This is not a team that will play safe. This is a team that would attack fearlessly. So watch out for Ghana. And honestly, this made them very, very exciting to watch. Next up, Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast might actually be Africa's most dangerous tournament team at this World Cup. During qualification, Ivory Coast went unbeaten and incredibly conceded 0 goals. 0. That defensive record is unbelievable. They also recorded the biggest victory in Africa World Cup qualifying history by defeating the team Seychelles by 9 goals to nothing. This team has power, speed, technique, and not forgetting, belief. For this Ivory Coast team, Amad Diallo has become one of the most exciting young attackers in which you can look forward to in African football, and he would be thinking of taking the World Cup in his own stride. Frank Casey brings experience and leadership. Ibrahim Sangare tried to dominate the midfield battles for the Elephant of Ivory Coast, and Ousmane Diomande is imagined as one of Africa's best defenders. So one thing is sure, you would love about this Ivory Coast team is the exact balance they bring to their side. Unlike the golden generation of Drogba and Yaya Toure, this squad feels more complete tactically, and they defend together and also attack together. They press aggressively and find the right transition quickly. But the only concern, if you think about this team, is the fact that they do not truly have an elite striker. But in tournament football, organization often matters more than superior names. And this Ivory Coast team looks extremely difficult to beat. And honestly, they could surprise a whole lot of people at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. For Bafana of South Africa, qualification itself already feels historic, especially in a group that included the Super Eagles of Nigeria. This is a country with massive football passion finally returning to the biggest stage, the FIFA World Cup. And while South Africa may not possess the elite stars of Morocco, Senegal, or even Ivory Coast, they do have something very, very important, and that is discipline. This South African team know very well and for themselves that under Hugo Broos, South Africa has become organized, compact, and mentally resilient in their style of play. And we can also add that Reno Williams has developed into one of Africa's best shortstopper, and Tembo Mokoena controls the midfield brilliantly for the South African team. According to FIFA, South Africa once held Africa's record for consecutive World Cup qualifying wins between 1997 and 2001, a record Morocco recently matched. This is a proud football nation as they look forward to repeating the opening game of the 2010 World Cup against Mexico on June 11 at the start of this 2026. The challenge for South Africa is goals, and that could actually prove very pivotal in this World Cup running. Against stronger teams, creating chances consistently could become very, very difficult at this World Cup. But tournament football rewards a defensive organization, and if South Africa frustrate opponents early in matches, they could become one of the best teams tournament surprise packages. Don't expect them to dominate games. It will be very difficult for you to see that from a South African team, but absolutely expect them to be that side that would compete at this FIFA World Cup. For decades, Africa had talent, but now Africa also has elite coaching, not forgetting tactical structure, and also adding European level experience and belief. So what would be the gainsaying of all African teams at this FIFA World Cup? From all of us at 54 Football we're supporting every African team and hoping that Africa would go far. Mike the point here for 54 Football.
10 teams, one continent, one dream. For the first time in FIFA World Cup.
Putain, j'ai mis le truc à l'envers, quel connard. J'ai mis le...
they like a penalty shootout, but for a whole of Morocco and for the team, I don't think he wanted penalties.
Yeah, like you say, we don't want to arrive in the penalty because, you know, after penalty, I can say it's lucky and not lucky because we train in these kind of things.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. We have one of the best goalkeeper in the world. For me, in the penalties, is the best one.
Yeah.
He already showed that long time ago. One more time, we are proud for him.
Yeah.
Happy to have him in my team in Morocco, and it's the best thing for him and for the team for the big effort from today, and we keep going.
Yeah, you said that you trained, but you can't train in front of 65,000 people after 120 minutes.
No, that's true. Of course, it's not the same when you are in the training and when you are in the pitch.
Yeah.
With the support, with the emotion, with the pressure and everything. Mm-hmm. But the coach is saying in the speak before to shoot the penalty, be calm, focus what you want to 100% to shoot. Mm-hmm. And also remember what we're training and we practice in the training. Don't change your mind, and that's what happening today. We're training, we shoot. I think focus and concentrate, and after, of course, we have the goalkeeper that he do amazing job.
Amazing. You have a final on Sunday. Can you just describe how special that is for you to play an AFCON final?
Of course, it's one of the best feelings that I gonna have in my career.
Yeah.
Having trying to fight for some trophy for my countries. Cannot describe this kind of thing. Also, Morocco, long time ago, didn't arrive in a final. I think the last one he played my coach.
Yeah.
So it's really special for us. We deserve, after a long time, a lot of sacrifice, and I think the team deserve. And we don't want to stop here. We want to arrive in the Sunday, like you say, and finish the job.
Yeah. Recover, sleep well. We'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We're gonna do that.
Wabali saves! Wabali saves! Next up is Nigeria. Next up is the Super Eagles. It's the turn of the Super Eagles. Samuel Chukwueze. Samuel Chukwueze will step up for Nigeria. Samuel Chukwueze against Yasin Bonu. A chance for Nigeria. Chukwueze! A terrible penalty from the Nigerian Samuel Chukwueze. Yasin Bonu saves.
That was so poor, so poor. No effort at all. It was so poor. He didn't even make it very difficult for the goalkeeper. I mean, Alex has spoken about picking the right spot, hitting the ball hard.
I talked about it that Samuel Chukwueze is not a great penalty taker. I don't understand the substitution. I have no idea why he has come on to play a penalty for the Nigerian side. And the way he even took the penalty, no intention to score. He just walked in there lazily and he just played a weak ball to the goalkeeper.
It's up in defense. And it has come finally. Took just 9 minutes to see the opening goal in the 2026 World Cup. And that has come off the boots of the brilliance of Quinones. No other this one. Here they come. Mexico from that right-hand side. Cross through! Raul Jimenez makes it happen for his team tonight. And he connected to that one like a socket. Headed the ball through like a rocket. And it's Mexico with another goal in their pockets. L3 are cruising to victory. They lead South Africa by 2-0.
Lovely crossing, lovely finish. And moments ago, we were just speaking about how silent he's been coming into the second half. And that's that's what strikers are made of. They could be silent for the whole time of the game, and then that one moment, when it comes, they tend to, capitalize on it. That's what Jimenez have done this night. And what an incredible header. What a great cross. Good finish. Well done.
I have high hopes for Senegal. They're in a very difficult group with France and Norway. And Norway, I think this is the Norwegian golden generation now with Haaland and Odegaard and so on and so forth. So it's a difficult group, but I think the Senegalese team is balanced. It has the guys who are experienced, Sadio Mane, Koulibaly at the back, and so on and so forth. And they have the young stars in DIA and all of them in the team. So I have high hopes for Senegal. They can come out from that group. I think they can go very far. And then for me, the dark horses, DR Congo. They knocked out Nigeria. They've brought back a number of guys with experience. Twenzebe, what's the guy who plays right back again? That was at United. What's his name? Wan-Bissaka. Right? Yeah, so they have Jan Wissa. So I think, I can't remember who is in their group now, but I think they have the names and the solidarity in that team to cause a lot of problems for people. So I think, for me, they are my dark horses, but the people I think who will go to fire is Senegal.
When the world comes together under one roof and speaks the language, there can only be one common factor: football. Reaching a historic milestone with 48 nations competing on football's grandest stage, the biggest tournament in football history. It's the 2026 FIFA World Cup. From football powerhouses to fearless newcomers, every nation arrives with one dream: to lift the most coveted trophy in world football. Africa stands proud, sending 10 of its strongest contingent to the global stage. From established giants to rising contenders, the continent stars are ready to showcase their talent, passion, and determination to billions around the world. For the debutants, this is more than a tournament. It's history in the making. New flags, new stories, and new heroes will emerge as they take their first steps onto football's greatest stage. The United States, Canada, and Mexico awaits the world to witness unforgettable moments, stunning goals, and the unifying power of the beautiful game. 48 teams, one trophy, endless possibilities. The FIFA World Cup 2026, where dreams become legends. It's time for the Mundial.
History, Africa will have 10 representatives at the. This is not just about participation. It is time Africa genuinely believes can actually produce a World Cup finalist or possibly a champion of the world. From Morocco's historic semi-final run in 2022 to Senegal's golden generation, from Ghana's exciting young stars to Ivory Coast's resurgence and South Africa's emotional return, the continent heads into 2026 with more depth, more talent, and more belief than ever before. So today on 54 Football X, we're breaking down all 10 teams that would be representing the African continent at the World Cup, but mainly focusing on the continent's biggest hopes: Morocco, Senegal, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and not forgetting South Africa. We'll look at their squad, stats, key players, strength, weakness, and realistic chance of going deep in the tournament. Can Africa eventually conquer the world? Morocco. Let's start with Africa's biggest hope in Morocco. In 2022, Morocco changed African football forever by becoming the very first side to play in the semi-final of a FIFA World Cup, defeating Belgium, Spain, and Portugal in one of the greatest underdog runs football has ever seen in the round leather game. But here is the scary part: Morocco might actually be better now than they were in Qatar. During qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, Morocco were absolutely dominant. 8 matches they played, 8 wins they had, 22 goals were scored, only conceding 2 goals in the process. That is ridiculous consistency. And according to FIFA statistics, Morocco are now unbeaten in 22 World Cup qualifiers since 2015. This is one of the greatest qualifying runs in African football history. This team is built differently. Defensively, they are elite. Tactically, they are disciplined. And individually, they have world-class players. Achraf Hakimi remains one of the best attacking fullbacks in football history. Yassine Bono is still among the best goalkeepers in the world. Sofiane Amrabat gives them aggression and control in midfield. And they are now even more creative with Brahim Diaz. What makes Morocco dangerous is balance. Most African teams in the past rely heavily on flair and athleticism. Morocco combines that with European tactical structure. They can defend deep, they can dominate possession, they can counter-attack, and most importantly, they no longer fear anybody. You did see that at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. But there's pressure now, yes, because they are no longer going to be seen as the underdog. Morocco were recently described as carrying a heavy burden of expectation because after 2022, the world now expect them to perform again. In Qatar, they shocked the world. In 2026, nobody will underestimate them anymore. Still, if there is any African team that can actually reach the semi-finals again, or even the final, Morocco has the best chance. Now, let's talk about Senegal, arguably the most complete squad in Africa. Some analysts actually believe Senegal have a stronger overall squad compared to Morocco right now. And honestly, it is hard to argue. Senegal qualified unbeaten. Physically, they are terrifying. Tactically, they are organized. And mentally, they believe they belong to one of the best teams in the world. Remember, this is the same country that actually shocked the defending champions France at the 2002 World Cup and reached the quarterfinals. Now, they return with even more depth. And offensively, Senegal have explosive attackers in the likes of Nicolas Jackson, Ismail Assar, and Iliman Ndiaye. Unlike previous African teams that have actually depended on one superstar, Senegal's strength is collective. Even with Sadio Mane aging, they still have quality everywhere. What makes Senegal dangerous is physical dominance. Against European teams, African sides have struggled most times tactically or mentally. Senegal removes that disadvantage because they can actually be very physical and also try to overpower their elite opponent. They press aggressively, they transition quickly, and defensively, they're extremely hard to break down. The concern is the consistency in attack. Sometimes Senegal creates chances but fails to finish games early. And in knockout football, that can actually become very, very dangerous. Still, this squad has quarterfinal or even semi-final potential. Do not be surprised if Senegal becomes Africa's deepest team at this tournament. Ghana. Every African nation still remembers 2010, one penalty kick away from becoming Africa's first ever World Cup semi-finalist before heartbreak against Uruguay. That moment still hurts across the continent. But Ghana enters 2026 with a completely new generation. This team is younger, faster, more fearless, and far more attacking than previous Ghanaian squads. The star of this team appears to be Antoine Semenyo. He can dribble, he can score, he can create chances, and he thrives under pressure. And there is Thomas Partey, bringing experience and control in the midfield for the Black Stars of Ghana. Now, here is an underrated statistics. Jordan Ayew finished the qualification with 7 assists, the highest in the African qualifying series. This is to tell you that this team actually have something important. The Ghanaian team creates chances. The issue will be balance. Defensively, Ghana can still become vulnerable against elite opponents. Sometimes they attack with too much freedom and leave spaces behind them. But tournament football is unpredictable, and Ghana might be Africa's ultimate wild card. If the Ghanaian attack catches fire at the World Cup, Ghana could become one of the most dangerous teams in the tournament. This is not a team that will play safe. This is a team that would attack fearlessly. So watch out for Ghana. And honestly, this made them very, very exciting to watch. Next up, Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast might actually be Africa's most dangerous tournament team at this World Cup. During qualification, Ivory Coast went unbeaten and incredibly conceded 0 goals. 0. That defensive record is unbelievable. They also recorded the biggest victory in Africa World Cup qualifying history by defeating at the team Seychelles by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 goes to nothing. This team has power, speed, technique, and not forgetting, belief. For this Ivory Coast team, Amad Diallo has become one of the most exciting young attackers in which you can look forward to in African football, and he would be thinking of taking the World Cup in his own stride. Frank Casey brings experience and leadership. Ibrahim Sangare tried to dominate the midfield battles for the Elephant of Ivory Coast, and Ousmane Diomande is imagined as one of Africa's best defenders. So one thing is sure you would love about this Ivory Coast team is the exact balance they bring to their side. Unlike the golden generation of Drogba and Yaya Toure, this squad feels more complete tactically, and they defend together and also attack together. They press aggressively and find the right transition quickly. But the only concern, if you think about this team, is the fact that they do not truly have an elite striker. But in tournament football, organization often matters more than superior names, and this Ivory Coast team looks extremely difficult to beat. And honestly, they could surprise a whole lot of people at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. For Bafana of South Africa, qualification itself already feels historic, especially in a group that included the Super Eagles of Nigeria. This is a country with massive football passion finally returning to the biggest stage, the FIFA World Cup. And while South Africa may not possess the elite stars of Morocco, Senegal, or even Ivory Coast, they do have something very, very important, and that is discipline. This South African team know very well and for themselves that under Hugo Broos, South Africa has become organized, compact, and mentally resilient in their style of play. And we can also add that Reno Williams has developed into one of Africa's best shortstopper, and Tembo Mokoena controls the midfield brilliantly for the South African team. According to FIFA, South Africa once held Africa's record for consecutive World Cup qualifying wins between 1997 and 2001, a record Morocco recently matched. This is a proud football nation as they look forward to repeating the opening game of the 2010 World Cup against Mexico on June 11 at the start of this 2026 FIFA World Cup. The challenge for South Africa is goals, and that could actually prove very pivotal in this World Cup running. Against stronger teams, creating chances consistently could become very, very difficult at this World Cup. But tournament football rewards a defensive organization, and if South Africa frustrate opponents early in matches, they could become one of the best teams tournament surprise packages. Don't expect them to dominate games. It will be very difficult for you to see that from a South African team, but absolutely expect them to be that side that would compete at this FIFA World Cup. For decades, Africa had talent, but now Africa also has elite coaching, not forgetting tactical structure, and also adding European level experience and belief. So what would be the gainsaying of all African teams at this FIFA World Cup? From all of us at 54 Football we're supporting every African team and hoping that Africa would go far. Mike the Point here for 54 Football. 10
When the world comes together under one roof and speaks the same language, there can only be one common factor: football. Reaching a historic milestone with 48 nations competing on football's grandest stage, the biggest tournament in football history. It's the 2026 FIFA World Cup. From football powerhouses to fearless newcomers, every nation arrives with one dream: to lift the most coveted trophy in world football. Africa stands proud, sending 10 of its strongest contingent to the global stage. From established giants to rising contenders, the continent stars are ready to showcase their talent, passion, and determination to billions around the world. For the debutants, This is more than a tournament. It's history in the making. New flags, new stories, and new heroes will emerge as they take their first steps onto football's greatest stage. The United States, Canada, and Mexico awaits the world to witness unforgettable moments, stunning goals, and the unifying power of the beautiful game. 48 teams, one trophy, endless possibilities. The FIFA World Cup 2026, where dreams become legends.
Putain, j'ai mis le truc à l'envers, quel connard. J'ai mis le...
When the world comes together under one roof and speaks the same language, there can only be one common factor: football. Reaching a historic milestone with 48 nations competing on football's grandest stage, the biggest tournament in football history. It's the 2026 FIFA World Cup. From football powerhouses to fearless newcomers, every nation arrives with one dream: to lift the most coveted trophy in world football. Africa stands proud, sending 10 of its strongest contingent to the global stage. From established giants to rising contenders, the continent stars are ready to showcase their talent, passion, and determination to billions around the world. For the debutants, this is more than a tournament. It's history in the making. New flags, new stories, and new heroes will emerge as they take their first steps onto football's greatest stage. The United States, Canada, and Mexico awaits the world to witness unforgettable moments, stunning goals, and the unifying power of the beautiful game. 48 teams, one trophy, endless possibilities. The FIFA World Cup 2026, where dreams become legends. It's time for the Mundial.
The FIFA World Cup 2026 really comes alive today. Today's game between the world number 6 and world number 7 is the Samba Boys against the Atlas Lions of Morocco. Some will argue the best team that Africa has to offer in this tournament. What a game we have in store for us at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Brazil versus Morocco. This is vivxsports, and we are honored to have you with us as we get ready for this mouth-watering encounter. My name is Baba, and I'm proud to be in the studio to do this with you guys. I'm obviously a loner today. It's 11 p.m. Nigerian time, so I'm the only one among the team who was ready to do this. I joke, but hey, I'm in the studio alone. I'm doing this with you. Let's enjoy. Whether you are hate watching Morocco, or you are supporting Morocco as an African, or you just want to see the Samba Boys come out and dance, let's do this together. Our phone lines are open. You can see the numbers on your screen: +234-813-6197658. I'm here to talk to you as you enjoy the game wherever you are. Please let me know where you're watching us in the comment section or on YouTube. Let me know where you are enjoying the game from. Are you supporting Morocco? We have the poll ongoing. Who are you supporting tonight? Nearly 60% of you are supporting Brazil. It's very interesting to know where you're watching this from and whether there's a lot of hate watching tonight. 30% are supporting Morocco, and 13% of you tell us you do not care. Very interesting. But yeah, please continue to drop your comments in the comment section if you want to speak. Please do feel free to call at any time through our broadcast. Well, Africa has not had the greatest start to USA, Mexico, Canada 2026. The first African team that came to play, Bafana of South Africa, in the opening game, unfortunately ended with a defeat. It wasn't a very impressive showing by South Africa. I know lots of people across the continent have had their say around this. But that game ended 2-0 in favor of the hosts, who looked brilliant. Whether that was the brilliance of Mexico or the shortfalls of South Africa, hey, it's up to everybody to debate. But we have the second African team. There are 10 African teams in the World Cup for the very first time. And we have what some will argue, as I said earlier, potentially the brightest hope of Africa playing tonight against Brazil. If we take a quick look at the groups, I hope Emmanuel can have that up for us, just to put into context the importance of this game. So Brazil and Morocco sit in Group C, and we can see those two teams are the highest ranked teams in Group C, and whoever can come out on top tonight would really position themselves well to top this group. Scotland are no pushover, and will be looking to make a name for themselves at this World Cup. Interestingly, in 1998, Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland were all in the same group at France 98. So apart from Norway, Norway was the last team in that group in 1998. They've been replaced in 2026 by Haiti, who are making their debut in this group. And some will be thinking that, whoever wants to come out from this group must be doing their bidding against Haiti in whenever they play them. And hey, Brazil-Morocco is absolutely the biggest game in this group, and we're looking forward to the game tonight. If we look across all the other African teams, we see South Africa in Group A alongside Mexico. South Korea and Czechia already looked extremely solid in their games. So South Africa would really need to step up their performance if they're going to be able to come out from Group A. You move down to Group E. Ivory Coast, Germany, Curacao, and Ecuador. I think the Ivory Coast have a good chance there. Tunisia, much tougher group for them, with the Netherlands, Japan, and Sweden in that group. Egypt, I think they stand a very good chance. Belgium are obviously the standout team in Group G. And the rest of the teams will have to fight it out for second spot. Cape Verde, the big story coming out from Africa, the giant killers of the indomitable Lions in qualifying are making their debut in this group. Look, I think they have to do their best to fight for third best placed team in that group to be able to come out, because Uruguay and Spain traditionally very strong teams. You go on to Group I, the Teranga Lions, potentially the people's champions of Africa. CAF may have a different say on that, but they're in a very difficult group with France and Norway. Iraq are no pushovers. But I think all the teams in that group will be expecting to get 3 points against Iraq. And then it's really down to what can Senegal do against France and Norway. On to Group J, Algeria. I think it's a pretty decent group for them. Argentina, again, the standout team there. And then, Austria and Jordan. It's really anybody's call between those two teams. And then you have the DRC with Portugal. I think they stand a good chance there. Colombia, obviously, are not going to be easy. And then in Group L, our neighbors, Ghana, in a group with England and Croatia. That's going to be extremely tough for Ghana to see any points against any of those teams. We will be supporting them. Let's see whether they can prove us wrong. And then hopefully they're able to pick up 3 points against Panama. The good thing for Ghana, they play Panama first. So it will be a great way for them to get started, pick up those 3 points, and then fight it out against Croatia and England. So that's a rundown of how Africa is looking for this World Cup. Back to today's massive menu. As I said, it's world number 6 against world number 7. These teams have met 3 times previously. I mentioned that they were in the same group in France '98, and on that occasion, Brazil actually beat Morocco 3-0. Very different Brazilian team then, very different Moroccan team then. Morocco have made extremely significant strides since 1998, and hence why they are now currently the 7th best team in the world. And you can just see on your screen the starting lineup for Morocco. No surprise, Yassine Bono in goal, Captain Hakimi, Diop, Riyad will be manning the center of defense. Mazraoui at left back, Bouadia, El Anyoui, and Diaz it will be Unahi in the middle, and then up front you have Diaz, El Kanoui, and Sarabia leading Morocco and hopefully looking to get goals. Interestingly, the last time these teams met, Morocco actually beat Brazil 2-1 in a friendly in 2023. Friendly matches completely different from the World Cup, but I think Morocco should be using that to walk confidently into this game, and hopefully they can shine. If we then move on to how the Samba boys line up, you have Alisson in goal, Ibanez at I believe playing right back, Marquinhos and Gabriel in the middle. Very solid, very experienced defenders. Morocco really have it up for them, trying to get past those two. You have Douglas Santos playing left back. In the middle, you have Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes, and Paqueta, who are going to be playing in the middle of the pack. And then up front, it's really a deadly three with Vinicius Junior, Rafinha, Vinicius Junior of Real Madrid, Rafinha of Barcelona, and then surprisingly Thiago of Brentford. so interesting. Two of the biggest teams, and then on to Brentford. But Thiago has been absolutely outstanding for Brentford through the season, and definitely deserves his place in the starting lineup. So there you have it. That's how Morocco and Brazil set up for today's game. I think we'll be crossing over to the stadium shortly. I think the teams are now lining up for kickoff. I think there was an interesting quote from Hakimi earlier in the week, where he said, Morocco are the Brazil of Africa. There you have the quote on the screen. In Africa, they call us the Brazil of Africa. Tomorrow, there will be more Moroccans than Brazilians in the stadium. From the videos I've seen, I'm not sure how true that is, but that's what Hakimi said yesterday. We feel this force and this support. Whether we see them, other African countries see Morocco as the Brazil of Africa, please let me know. I'm happy to hear your thoughts. Please call in. The numbers are on your screen. Let's discuss. How are you feeling about Morocco? How do you feel about their chances tonight to be able to get anything away from the Samba boys of Brazil? The number is on your screen, +234 813 61976 558. And please, if you're joining us for the very first time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're here 11 p.m. Nigerian time, and we are serving you this delicious meal. So please be part of our community, the vivxsports community. Please do subscribe to a channel. We would love to have you each time we do this. We are always here each time any of the African teams have major games at this World Cup. We're either going to be here in the studio, or we'll be at a watch party somewhere in Lagos, enjoying this with other fans, and we would love to do it with you wherever you are around the world. And we can just see the teams walking out at the MetLife Stadium. I mean, the swaz and all that America has put into this is really interesting. The walkout looks very grand. We're just seeing Marquinhos now and the Brazilian team line up. I don't know what Hakimi was talking about. All I can see in the stadium just now from the camera that went around was a sea of yellow. I'm really struggling. I mean, the stadium is dotted with a few red shirts, but this stadium is heavily Brazilian at the moment. But this is going to be a major game. Hakimi, two-time UEFA Champions League winner 2 times in a row. I mean, he must be coming to this game full of confidence, hoping to lead Morocco to what will be one of the biggest shocks if they're able to pull this off today. We've already seen one shock already in the first game of the day. Switzerland wasted so many chances. I think the last I heard before I made my way to the studio, Switzerland probably had around 25 shots at the goal of Qatar, and could only score 1 goal. And in the last minute, football always writes those stories. Qatar get a goal in the last minute, and that game ended 1-1. I think that's the biggest shock so far we've seen in the stadium. I say in the stadium at this World Cup. But if Morocco were to beat Brazil tonight, I think that will surpass what the Qataris have done so far. We're just seeing the national anthem of Brazil just now. Alisson, fantastic goalkeeper. Marquinhos, another two-time UEFA Champions League winner, back-to-back, going up against Achraf Hakimi, his teammate. Casemiro, the guy that refuses to age. He refuses to age. Still an absolute rock for Man U and Brazil, and definitely is worth his place in this starting lineup. What a game we have in store tonight. As I said, I'm here on my own. I'm more than happy to take your calls. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you want to talk to me, please give us a call on +234 813 6197658. The number is on your screen. I see a comment from Bobong Odiong. Brazil win. Brazil win. Very confident, my friend. And I think that goes to most of the people who are currently watching the live stream. 61% of you are saying Brazil. You're supporting Brazil and you expect Brazil to win tonight. We're just getting the Moroccan national anthem now. One thing you will pick up from the tournament so far in the US is that all players, whether you are starting or on the substitute bench, you come out and you line up for the national anthem. I think that's a very nice touch. I'm not a fan of all the new rules that have come in, but I think this particular one, where you get the entirety of the team to come out, and this is a moment of pride for any footballer. Moment of pride for any footballer. So I think it's the right thing that is being done here with all the players, both the starting 11 and the substitutes lining up. We've just had the Moroccan national anthem. The players are now shaking hands. Carlo Ancelotti, the Italian manager of the Brazilian team, he would be under pressure to deliver. Carlo has won everything there has to be in club football. Can he do this with Brazil? Can he lead this star-studded Brazilian team to victory at the World Cup in 2026? And also for the coach of Morocco, Coach Mohamed, who has recently been appointed following the previous coach didn't fail. I think he did a very solid job in the last World Cup. Took Morocco to the semi-final. Took Morocco to the semi-final, and also led Morocco to the finals of the final of the last AFCON. So, look, Coach Mohamed has a big job to do. To follow in those footsteps, but his squad is definitely well equipped to be able to withstand, to hopefully repeat and get to the latter stages of the World Cup. I see a comment here from NDZZ40. I hope Morocco can take a point from this match. Hey, why not a win? Why can't Morocco? They did it in 2023. Why can't Morocco repeat their success in 2023 again? But look, they are going to have their work cut out today against this Brazilian team. You look at, we're just seeing the lineups again. Coming from the mainstream. I mean, that front three, call it front four, with Vinicius, Paqueta, Rafinha, and Thiago. The Moroccan defense, Diop, Mazraoui, Hakimi, Riyad, they are really going to have their work cut out to try and keep a clean sheet against the firepower that Brazil have. But we know Morocco, extremely disciplined. They keep the ball well. It's a balanced team. They're able to play on the counter-attack. They will stay organized. And hey, if they go ahead, if they score the first goal, then you never know what happens. You never know what happens. So look, we're looking forward to this. Kickoff is nearly here. We're just seeing the final again. And that front three. What's interesting this year is Morocco are playing without a real point man leading the attack. In past years, we've seen Ayoub El Kabi, who scored some, crazy goals at the AFCON earlier in the year. Unfortunately, he's only on the bench. only on the bench for today's game, and Naziri, who scored that wonderful header against Portugal to take Morocco into the semi-finals at the last World Cup. He's not even in the squad. I can't remember. I think probably he's injured. But Morocco are going into this game without that traditional striker up front, and will be relying on the tactical nous and technicalities of the three guys up front to try and break down this Brazilian defense with Diaz, El Canuz, and Sarabia. The game is finally on the way. Morocco do the usual thing of kicking the ball into touch. Remember, if you're joining us for the very first time, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to chat about the game, any incidents, your thoughts, I'm here for it throughout the game. Give us a call. The number is on your screen. +234 813 6197 658. Early touch. We're into the first minute. Early touch for Allison. I mean, this stadium is packed out with Brazilian fans. I can hardly see any red shirts. They are literally just dotted around the stadium, and it's wow. I mean, that was quite a wild challenge from Douglas Santos there, and I think the referee has probably just overlooked that because it's okay. Well, he slipped. Fair enough. I think if that was any time later in the game, the referee is probably whipping out his yellow card, the first yellow card of the game. It was very interesting to see the number of red cards we saw in the first game between Mexico and South Africa. I'm glad to see that some normality has returned. I don't think we've seen any subsequent red cards since then. The MetLife Stadium in New York, New Jersey is definitely alive. 2 minutes into the game, I think both teams are still feeling themselves out in the game. Throw into Morocco. Morocco are playing from right to left from where I'm sat. Carlo Ancelotti always looking on point. Never frazzled, never out of tune, and hey, his signature eyebrow. We're back in play now. Both teams are still trying to find their feet. Morocco have possession on the left. Free kick to Morocco. That free kick has been won by El Kanoui. Probably 40 yards out. Who conceded? I think that's Bruno Guimaraes who commits the foul, and there's potentially a chance here for Morocco to put a ball early into the box to put Brazil under pressure. What can Morocco fashion out of this early chance? We're waiting for the ball to be whipped in. Ball comes in, poor one, cleared out. I think that was cleared out by Casemiro. And Thiago finishes up the job, and danger is up. Ball back with Morocco. Four minutes in, we are still yet to see any chance of any note. Both teams are still feeling themselves out. Diaz, that's the man Morocco will be relying on to unlock this Brazilian defense. Morocco keep possession well. Recycle the ball. Hakimi.
Back to Diaz, back to Hakimi on the right. This is wonderful play. Brahim Diaz trying to fashion a chance, takes a shot. Well cleared. Well cleared by the Brazilian defense. And you can see Coach Mohamed Wabi looking relaxed, enjoying the sun in New York. I hope his team can match his confidence. Morocco seem to have settled in quite nicely. El Kanoui has fantastic there from Mazraoui. A chance for Morocco. Oh, he should have. I can't see who that was, but he could have struck that ball with a lot more conviction. First chance of the game to Morocco. That was a real opening there, and it's El Kanoui who had the chance to really test Alisson there, and he scoffed the shot, and Gabriel, in his usual way of blocking with his arms behind his back, is able to get in the way. First chance to Morocco there. And Morocco are really, in this first few minutes, holding their own against the Samba boys. Apart from that touch, ball into the box, Hakimi, strike! He's asking for the corner there, but I think that ball just went straight out. Morocco have really started with some confidence here. I think the only time I've seen Yassine Bono so far is when there was a back pass. We're still yet to see Brazil really coming to the game, but hey, when they do, we all know that there could be trouble with Rafinha and Vinicius Junior up front. Paqueta on the ball. Finds Casemiro. Oh, Brazil have lost possession again there. The ball is back with Morocco. Brahim Diaz finds Sarabia. Back to Diaz. Sarabia. This is fantastic one-touch football from Morocco. They are clearly, definitely not, in this opening few minutes, are not showing any sort of, respect or fear. But here comes Brazil. Thiago with the ball. Slows it down. Ball with Rafinha. And Brazil, for the first time, have possession in the half of the Atlas Lions. Ibanez back to Marquinhos, and I think Brazil are just feeling their way into the game. The message is clear for Morocco. You want the ball? Come out and get it. And as soon as Brazil tried to penetrate, Morocco are able to break up play, but Brazil are back in possession. Casemiro to Rafinha. Takes a shot, well blocked. Morocco hold firm and are now in possession. Oh, fantastic turn there. Ibanez is completely taken out of the game. Morocco on the break. Sarabia on the break. Ball with Brahim Diaz. He takes a shot, well blocked. I think that's going to be given as a foul against Hakimi there. The game is really end to end at the moment, and we see that challenge between Hakimi and Gabriel. Wow, that's quite a fall from Gabriel from that challenge, but he's back up on his feet. You remember that Gabriel, the unfortunate player to miss the decisive penalty kick in the Champions League final. Great to see him back in action, hoping for better luck at the World Cup. I'm not quite sure whether he'll be taking the final penalty in this case, but Brazilian possession. And look at that, Paqueta has just lost the ball in the middle of the park. A chance for another shot for Morocco. The player he dances around, and Brazil are just able to recover. I mean, that was very, very careless from Paqueta, losing the ball in a very dangerous area for Brazil. I mean, they were just passing the ball at the back, got to Paqueta, he miscontrolled it, and I can't quite see who won the ball off him. I think it was Boadi who won the ball off him. And, you know, Morocco could have easily gotten another shot at Alisson there. Lucky break for Paqueta, who really needs to be a bit more. He needs to be sharper, given the way Morocco are pressing. Again, Brazil lose the ball. Brazil lose the ball again, and again Morocco have a shot. The ball breaks. I mean, this is really interesting to see the number of times the Brazilians have turned the ball over. I mean, Morocco are doing a stellar job in, you know, blocking spaces. I don't think they are, you know, heavily pressing Brazil when they're in possession in the Brazilian half. But Brazil just keep, you know, gifting Morocco back the ball. I mean, given the quality of the Brazilian team, I'm sure there will be an end to those cheap giveaways in their own half. But it's really contributing to the confidence of the Moroccan team. Sarabia passes to El Kanoui. Oh, nearly. Well stopped there from Marquinhos. Foul there on Bruno. I'm sure, given the pressure the Moroccan team have been putting on Brazil, I'm fairly certain this breaking play is a thing of relief for the Brazilian team right now, who are still trying to find their feet in this game. Ball with Marquinhos, who does a 1-2 with Gabriel, his centre back partner. This is the third 1-2 both of them have done. Ball to the right. I believe that's Ibanez. And Morocco have, I mean, Ibanez was lucky there that the referee gave that foul. Morocco are really blocking the Brazilian build-up from the back. I mean, this must be like the fourth or fifth time already, with 12 minutes gone on the clock. Brazil have lost the ball to, you know, the Moroccan midfield press. They will try one more time. I mean, this is the Samba boys. They will not be lumping that ball anytime soon forward. And Brazil managed to break it up. I think this is the first time we are seeing Vinicius Junior run up against Hakimi. A chance, Thiago. Oh! I mean, that's the first time we have seen Vini Junior in the game, and hey, the Moroccan net nearly bulged. He went past Hakimi, put it across, and Thiago should have been scoring that. I mean, that's had goal written all over it. I mean, that is a material opportunity that Thiago has missed there. The first time Vinicius Junior is coming into the game, and Morocco could have been 1-0 behind already. So really and truly, Morocco need this, you know, press from the front to really carry on. Once that ball gets to the boots of Vini Junior and Rafinha, I think the danger is clear to all. The danger is clear to all. For the first time, Alisson launches the ball forward, well dealt with by the Moroccan defense. I see, looking at your comments, Michael Enema, Brazil 2, Morocco 1. Very brave from you there, Michael, given the way the game has started. But hey, you know, Vini appeared for the first time in the game, and hey, could have been 1-0 there to Brazil. So hey, Michael, you never know, your prediction could be right, huh? Please keep your comments pouring in. Drop your predictions. Let us know, where do you think this game is heading, given the first 15 minutes of action. Still 0-0 at the MetLife Stadium. Foul there from Thiago. A bit too physical there. And we're looking again at the opportunity, and Thiago should have been at least getting that on goal. I'm sure Ronaldo, we see the great Ronaldo dilemma. I'm sure he's thinking to himself, if I was on the pitch, that was definitely 1-0 to Brazil. I think Brazil are slowly coming into the game. Slowly coming into the game now. Gabriel and Marquinhos, they are back to playing their 1-2. They're effectively saying to Morocco, come out, come get the ball. Casemiro joins them. Is that Casemiro or Bruno? I think that's Bruno Guimaraes, who is now joined into the defensive line to take some control of possession. Douglas Santos, Vini, and I think the Moroccans are finally saying to themselves, if we're going to stop Vini Jr., we're going to have to double up. So he only doesn't have Hakimi for company. I think on that occasion it was Brahim Diaz who was back there to support his captain. 16 minutes on the clock. We're still waiting for our first goal, and we're still waiting for our first caller. If you're watching us, I'm here for you. Give us a call on +234 813 6197 658. Let me hear your prediction. Who do you think is going to end up as winners by the end of this game? Brazil still in possession. Header there, well claimed by Yassine Bonu. We're still yet to see Rafinha in the game. You don't need to see them too often. When you eventually see them, it just takes one moment for players like that to make a difference. But so far, Morocco have done a good job keeping Rafinha quiet. Ibanez, back to Casemiro. And I think we are seeing a change of guard now. Brazil are slowly taking control of the game, but Morocco are holding steadfast. Mazraoui to El Kanoui. And it's now Morocco losing the ball in their own half, and this could smell danger. Rafinha finds Vinicius Jr. and Hakimi just recovers just in time. Just in time. It looks like the tide is now turning. It is Morocco who are losing, and that was an excellent pass from Rafinha to Vini Jr. and he was almost in there. The tide is slowly turning. Brazil are now putting the pressure on Morocco in their own half, and we've seen on a couple of occasions now the Moroccan midfield lose the ball in dangerous positions. Corner to Brazil. Just waiting for this corner to come in. Well cleared. Drops to Vinicius Jr. Shot there. Brazil still in possession. A very good corner there from Bruno Guimaraes, causing some confusion in the Moroccan box, but Morocco are able to survive. We're now seeing Brazil taking control of this game. I think the Samba boys have now settled in. It's now a question of whether Morocco can keep up the tempo on the press on Brazil. I think we can see. I think it's evident the tempo at which Morocco were chasing down the ball has slightly dropped. But as I said that, Brazil lose the ball. Fantastic ball there. A chance for Morocco. 1-0 to Morocco. Sarabia! What a pass! Goal number 1! Morocco! Against the run of play, Morocco take the lead. What a pass! What a pass! I think that assist came from Brahim Diaz. A completely, defense splitting pass there, straight through between Marquinhos and Gabriel. He's in on goal. What a pass! Alisson in no man's land, and Sarabia just lobs the ball over Alisson, and Gabriel is clutching at straws there. What a finish! What a finish! The Atlas Lions are roaring at the MetLife. 1-0 Morocco. 1-0 Morocco. And Coach Mohamed could not have asked for a better start to this game. Sarabia. 1-0. Now we have a game on. We have a game on. Africa gets its first goal at the 2026 World Cup. Sarabia, and confirmation there, the assist from the playmaker from Real Madrid, Brahim Diaz. What a pass! What a pass! And we are just looking at Carlo Ancelotti, wondering what the hell has hit us. He smiles, Sarabia, and you can see the smile on his face as we have the first hydration break of the game. 1-0 Morocco. By all means, please put in a call. Let me hear your thoughts about how you have seen the game so far as we take this first hydration break of the game. It's 1-0 to Morocco. The Atlas Lions are roaring in New York. What a pass! And I was just saying just before the goal that Brazil had started to dominate, and the press for Morocco had sort of died down, and then bang, the press came alive. Ball falls to the feet of Brahim Diaz. What a pass! That pass makes the goal, and we're just seeing the replay here. He just, no chance of offside. Sees Sarabia in the gap between Gabriel and Marquinhos, and just lays the ball in there. Perfect pace, perfect pass. Sarabia doesn't need to take a touch. One time, a lob over Alisson, straight into the net. 1-0 Morocco. 1-0 to the Atlas Lions, CAF's current champions of Africa. What a goal! Africa is alive. I think anybody who is watching Morocco, the standard of the game Morocco is playing and what we saw from South Africa, would really understand there's a massive gap in class between those two teams. These guys have, for a significant part of this game, not just gotten a goal, but actually outplayed Brazil, and managed to get a goal at the time when Brazil were looking strongest. And Carlo is in his usual way, not too forced, but clearly has to have his thinking cap on how Brazil will respond. This is vivxsports. We are here throughout the World Cup to enjoy our African teams together with you. And today, hate them or love them, we are dancing with Morocco, who are really putting South Africa, the Samba boys, to the sword. And the hydration break is nearly over. Can Brazil respond? What I know now is we definitely have a game on our hands. Brazil know that they need to find a goal. They need to respond. And Morocco are just, again, just maintaining their discipline, waiting for Brazil to try and break, their front three. They are forcing Marquinhos and Gabriel to have multiple 1-2 passes between themselves. And Brazil at the moment are finding it hard to break the Moroccan first line of defense. And I think, who was that? I think that was Bruno who tried to force the break of that line, and he just hoofs the ball straight out of play. I think the Moroccan tactic is really working here. They will have to keep this up for 90 minutes if they are going to maintain this lead or even ensure that they have a draw. And Morocco again win the ball back. Ball is now with Achraf Hakimi. We know how dangerous he is going forward. Hakimi is into a place of... He could have done better there. I mean, we have seen this from Achraf Hakimi so many times. Win the ball deep in his half, drives forward, gets to the Brazilian 18-yard box, and he just drags his shot wide. Brazil really need to be careful here, else we could be talking about a 2-goal lead. But Morocco is currently following that attack a little out of position, but they managed to win the ball back. Mazraoui wins the ball. Brahim Diaz, the danger man for Morocco. His penalty miss in the final of the AFCON currently is a long forgotten incident. What a pass! I think that's the assist of the tournament so far. And Morocco are playing with extreme confidence at the moment. They are not number 7 in the world for nothing. Really holding their own here. We've had our first goal for the night. We're still waiting for our first caller. The numbers are on your screen: +234 813 6197658. Give us a call. Are you feeling what the Atlas Lions are doing here? And what skill from Brahim Diaz there? Just turns away from 2 Brazilians who are trying the press, and has now won a free kick for Morocco in a very dangerous position. Hakimi stands over the ball. A free kick from the right of Brazil's penalty box. A good delivery here, and Brazil could be in a bit of trouble. Hakimi swings it in. Header! Free header! Morocco return possession. A shot! Wow! Brazil lose the ball again. Back to Brahim Diaz, but he couldn't squeeze a shot out. Morocco are turning on the style. Brazil lose the ball again. It's unbelievable the number of times Brazil have turned over the ball. What is going on? And Morocco nearly returned the favor, but the defense is able to recover. I mean, I've never seen Brazil lose the ball this man, and they just lose it again. Wow! Morocco tactically are winning this one fair and square. Another shooting opportunity for Brahim Diaz. I mean, Morocco, the Lions are eating the Samba boys right now. Hakimi on the right, fizzes the ball in. A shot there. Brazil are literally just hanging on now. What standard of play we are seeing here for Morocco? What standard of play? It's exciting to see an African team play with. This is not the AFCON, and all the tactics that they were employing, earlier in the year. They are here outclassing Brazil, and I'm not over exaggerating when I say that. Apart from a 5-minute spell where Brazil looked like the game was turning in their favor, it's been all Morocco. 30 minutes played. 1-0. Morocco still lead. Ismail Sarabia with a wonderful chipped goal into the net, and Morocco lead. I don't think Yassine Bono has made a save yet. I mean, Brazil have players that can make you eat those words very quickly, but till date, no save for Yassine Bono. And here's Vinicius. Goal! Just what a response! What a response! Brazil are backing it. Vinicius Junior. He doesn't have to be in the game most of the time. One chance, one goal. Brazil level. What a finish. That's it. When you have players like that in a team, it just takes one moment, and you can see the frustration of the fans. Where have you been? Fantastic build up there, and Morocco make the mistake of two players going to meet. I think that was Casemiro. Two players, and they leave. Effectively just leave Vinicius Junior free, and you can't at the 6-yard box give Vinicius Junior that amount of space. You're asking for trouble. This game is living up to the hype. This game is living up to the hype. 1-1. Michael, your prediction is maybe just be coming to pass. Both teams have goals now. It's 1-1. I think Morocco would be disappointed with the lack of communication. I think that was between Hakimi and I can't remember who the second defender was. But both of them just ran to the ball and left Vinicius Junior with plenty of space, and the ball came back to Vini, and he was 6 yards out, and there was no way in hell he was going to miss that. But here comes Morocco. Well, one free kick there from Hakimi, fouled by the goal scorer Vinicius Junior. Fantastic spin from Hakimi there, and he does well to win a free kick for Morocco. I think, given the size of the Brazilian team and the fact that Morocco are not playing with a point man, I think Brazil I might just eat my words in the next few minutes. But I'll still carry on. I think Brazil are well placed, to defend these set pieces. Apart from Diop, the Moroccan team are not exactly the tallest. Ball comes in and well cleared by Brazil. Morocco back in possession. Brahim Diaz puts in another cross, and Alisson comes out well and punches. If there's one thing I can assure you of, the goal scoring tonight is not over. Ball back all the way to Yassine Bono, who hops it all the way across into the hands of Alisson. I guess the goalkeepers have decided is their turn to play a 1-2. It's 1-1 here. This game is living up to all the build-up. What is going to happen next? Brazil domination or another Moroccan sting? 35 minutes played. Brazil won, Morocco won. I think for the Brazilians it's very clear this Moroccan team is not the same as the France 98 team. The level of development, level of talent, I mean, Morocco have not gotten here by chance. The quality we are seeing tonight, there's a real structure flowing through Moroccan football that has seen them shoot to the standards we're seeing and the current ranking that the country has. This has been a long-term plan that we're beginning to see come to pass. I mean, we saw it at the last World Cup in Morocco getting to the semi-finals, and what we're seeing again today, we clearly see that this is a team of class. This is a class team. Wow, what fantastic one-touch play there from Hakimi and Brahim Diaz. Casemiro ends up giving away a foul. Fantastic turn there from Diaz. Hakimi just steps in. It wasn't Hakimi, it was El Nawi. It was El Nawi who stepped in there and just picked the ball up, and he was through on goal. Free kick to Morocco. Hakimi stands over the ball. And we're just seeing the Vinicius Junior goal there again. What a goal. Excellent finish. You don't give Vinicius Junior that sort of space. Foul there on Lucas Paqueta. Foul there by El Canoes. He's saying to the referee, Paqueta elbowed me. Game back on. Mazraoui has done a good job so far keeping Rafinha quiet, but as I've told you, it takes just one moment for players like Vini and Rafinha to make the difference. But Morocco continue to hold their own and put Brazil under pressure. But the danger man with the ball again, but a bad touch there just allows Brahim Diaz recover and put in a challenge that sends the ball out for a throw-in. Vini on the ball again. Vinicius is really beginning to come into the game. That spells danger for Morocco. Thiago, well defended there, fantastic defending. But Brazil win the ball back again with Casemiro. Who are you supporting tonight? Brazil still remains The dominant name on the list. 60% of you are supporting Brazil. One round here, 40 minutes played. First goal from Ismail Sarabia. And the response from Vinicius Jr. Question for you guys. Which goal was better? Which goal was better? The goal from Sarabia or the goal from Vinicius Jr.? Let us know your thoughts in the poll that is currently running. Which goal was better? Which goal would you rather have scored if you had the honor of wearing the shirt of Brazil or Morocco? The goal by Vinicius Jr. or the goal by Sarabia? And Morocco are on the attack again. But this time Brazil are able to cover their lines. What a first half we've had. And we're just having a look at the match momentum. And you would see Morocco got their goal just as, the period where Brazil were dominating. And Brazil got their goal in the period where Morocco were dominating. Football is funny. You are at your most vulnerable when you're dominated. That's the simple message. If you're joining us for the first time, don't forget, we want you to be here with us throughout the World Cup. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification, and let's do this dance each time an African team is flying the African flag, the continent flag at the World Cup. Brahim Diaz has really stood. Yellow card now for Bruno Guimaraes. So that's Ibanez, sorry, my bad. I mean, he just bashed into Brahim Diaz there, who has done a fantastic job carrying the ball, finding the difficult passes, putting the ball through, the eye of the needle, and he's really the driving force behind this Moroccan team. We're nearly at halftime, and we're still no closer to knowing how this game is going to finish. We are still as we were. We've just seen 2 brilliant goals, but both teams remain tied. Again, we're seeing fantastic hold-up play there from Brahim Diaz. He ultimately loses the ball, but almost did excellently well to wriggle out of a very difficult situation. Rafinha was lucky there that the referee blew. It looked like Morocco, El Khandoui. It looked like El Khandoui won the ball fair and square, but the referee decides that was too aggressive and gives the free kick to Brazil. Can Brazil find a goal to be able to go into halftime in the lead? We have a question on our poll. Which goal was better? The goal we've seen from Vinicius of the goal we've seen from Sarabia. Let's have your say on the poll. Which goal would you rather have scored? 4 minutes added, 4 minutes of additional time. And Morocco again coming forward. Wonderful play we're seeing from Morocco. I mean, their ability to retain the ball under high press is something that is a sign of a real quality team. And they've done that on multiple occasions. Wonderful. I mean, they're really moving the ball around in the Brazilian half. Although they've now been forced back all the way to Yassine Bonu, who then unfortunately picks a terrible pass. And the ball is back with Brazil. We will see another goal before halftime. Wonderful shot there. Oh, that would have been a wondrous goal from Lucas Paqueta. Crossing from Douglas Santos and a bicycle kick from Lucas Paqueta. But Yassine Bonu is alive to the action and is able to knock that out for a corner to Brazil. Corner comes in, and Brazil seemed to be, it looked like they were asking for a handball, but the referee has waved that away. Can't quite see what the Brazilians were complaining about there. Maybe a shove in the back, potentially, but the referee has said, hey guys, game on. We're nearly at halftime in what has been a very, very, very exciting game. These are two teams that are very, very well matched. Morocco are really showing that their current ranking of being one place lower than Brazil is not a fluke. Here comes Vinicius Jr. again. Fantastic tackle again by the Moroccan defense. And Hakimi has a chance to break away and cleverly wins the foul. Vini is saying, hey ref. I mean, Hakimi missed the main challenge that he made on Vinicius. But he's lucky that, you know, the ball rebounds off his standing leg. Else that would have been a free kick to Brazil in a very, very dangerous position. It's halftime. Halftime at the MetLife Stadium. Is Brazil won? Morocco won. What a wonderful half of football we've just had. This was not a game that was overhyped. Both teams have really shown their class in this first half. And Vinicius continues to complain. Ref, that was a foul. That was a foul. I mean, it could have gone either way. It could have gone either way. But again, hey guys, we've seen a first half of absolutely scintillating football from both teams. Two wonderful goals from Brazil and Morocco. One from Ismail Sarabia and the second from Vinicius Jr. It's 1-1 at halftime. We will take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be analyzing what we can expect in the second half and also taking your calls. See you shortly.
When the world comes together under one roof and speaks the same language, there can only be one common factor: football. Reaching a historic milestone with 48 nations competing on football's grandest stage, the biggest tournament in football history. It's the 2026 FIFA World Cup. From football powerhouses to fearless newcomers, every nation arrives with one dream: to lift the most coveted trophy in world football. Africa stands proud, sending 10 of its strongest contingent to the global stage. From established giants to rising contenders, the continent stars are ready to showcase their talent, passion, and determination to billions around the world. For the debutants, this is more than a tournament. It's history in the making. New flags, new stories, and new heroes will emerge as they take their first steps onto football's greatest stage. The United States, Canada, and Mexico awaits the world to witness unforgettable moments, stunning goals, and the unifying power of the beautiful game. 48 teams, one trophy, endless possibilities. The FIFA World Cup 2026, where dreams become legends. When the world comes together under one roof and speaks the same language, there can only be one common factor: football. Reaching a historic milestone with 48 nations competing on football's grandest stage, the biggest tournament in football history. It's the 2026 FIFA World Cup. From football powerhouses to fearless newcomers, every nation arrives with one dream: to lift the most coveted trophy in world football. Africa stands proud, sending 10 of its strongest contingent to the global stage. From established giants to rising contenders, the continent stars are ready to showcase their talent, passion, and determination to billions around the world. For the debutants, this is more than a tournament. It's history in the making. New flags, new stories, and new heroes will emerge as they take their first steps onto football's greatest stage. The United States, Canada, and Mexico awaits the world to witness unforgettable moments, stunning goals, and the unifying power of the beautiful game. 48 teams, one trophy, endless possibilities. The FIFA World Cup 2026, where dreams become legends. It's time for the Mundial.
Teams, one continent, one dream. For the first time in FIFA World Cup history, Africa will have 10 representatives at the tournament. And this is not just about participation. It is time Africa genuinely believes can actually Cup finalist or possibly a champion of the world. From Morocco's historic semi-final run in 2022 to Senegal's golden generation, from Ghana's exciting young stars to Ivory Coast's resurgence and South Africa's emotional return, the continent heads into 2026 with more depth, more talent, and more belief than ever before. So today on 54 Football X, we're breaking down all 10 teams that would be representing the African continent at the World Cup, but mainly focusing on the continent's biggest hopes: Morocco, Senegal, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and not forgetting South Africa. We'll look at their squad, stats, key players, strength, weakness, and realistic chance of going deep in the tournament. Can Africa eventually conquer the world? Morocco. Let's start with Africa's biggest hope in Morocco. In 2022, Morocco changed African football forever by becoming the very first side to play in the semi-final of a FIFA World Cup, defeating Belgium, Spain and Portugal in one of the greatest underdog runs football has ever seen in the round leather game. But here is the scary part. Morocco might actually be better now than they were in Qatar. During qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, Morocco were absolutely dominant. 8 matches they played, 8 wins they had, 22 goals were scored, only conceding 2 goals in the process. That is ridiculous consistency. And according to FIFA statistics, Morocco are now unbeaten in 22 World Cup qualifiers since 2015. This is one of the greatest qualifying runs in African football history. This team is built differently. Defensively, they are elite. Tactically, they are disciplined. And individually, they have world-class players. Achraf Hakimi remains one of the best attacking fullbacks in football history. Yassine Bono is still among the best goalkeepers in the world. Sofiane Amrabat gives them aggression and control in midfield. And they are now even more creative with Brahim Diaz. What makes Morocco dangerous is balance. Most African teams in the past rely heavily on flair and athleticism. Morocco combines that with European tactical structure. They can defend deep, they can dominate possession, they can counter-attack, and most importantly, they no longer fear anybody. You did see that at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. But there's pressure now, yes, because they are no longer going to be seen as the underdog. Morocco were recently described as carrying a heavy burden of expectation because after 2022, the world now expect them to perform again. In Qatar, they shocked the world. In 2026, nobody will underestimate them anymore. Still, if there is any African team that can actually reach the semi-finals again, or even the final, Morocco has the best chance. Now, let's talk about Senegal, arguably the most complete squad in Africa. Some analysts actually believe Senegal have a stronger overall squad compared to Morocco right now. And honestly, it is hard to argue. Senegal qualified unbeaten. Physically, they are terrifying. Tactically, they are organized. And mentally, they believe they belong to one of the best teams in the world. Remember, this is the same country that actually shocked the defending champions France at the 2002 World Cup and reached the quarterfinals. Now, they return with even more depth. And offensively, Senegal have explosive attackers in the likes of Nicolas Jackson, Ismail Assar, and Iliman Ndiaye. Unlike previous African teams that have actually depended on one superstar, Senegal's strength is collective. Even with Sadio Mane aging, they still have quality everywhere. What makes Senegal dangerous is physical dominance. Against European teams, African sides have struggled most times tactically or mentally. Senegal removes that disadvantage because they can actually be very physical and also try to overpower their elite opponent. They press aggressively, they transition quickly, and defensively, they're extremely hard to break down. The concern is the consistency in attack. Sometimes Senegal creates chances but fails to finish games early. And in knockout football, that can actually become very, very dangerous. Still, this squad has quarterfinal or even semi-final potential. Do not be surprised if Senegal becomes Africa's deepest team at this tournament. Ghana. Every African nation still remembers 2010, one penalty kick away from becoming Africa's first ever World Cup semi-finalist before heartbreak against Uruguay. That moment still hurts across the continent. But Ghana enters 2026 with a completely new generation. This team is younger, faster, more fearless, and far more attacking than previous Ghanaian squads. The star of this team appears to be Antoine Semenyo. He can dribble, he can score, he can create chances, and he thrives under pressure. And there is Thomas Partey, bringing experience and control in the midfield for the Black Stars of Ghana. Now, here is an underrated statistics. Jordan Ayew finished the qualification with 7 assists, the highest in the African qualifying series. This is to tell you that this team actually have something important.
When the world comes together under one roof and speaks the same language, there can only be one common factor: football. Reaching a historic milestone with 48 nations competing on football's grandest stage, the biggest tournament in football history. It's the 2026 FIFA World Cup. From football powerhouses to fearless newcomers, every nation arrives with one dream: to lift the most coveted trophy in world football. Africa stands proud, sending 10 of its strongest contingent to the global stage. From established giants to rising contenders, the continent stars are ready to showcase their talent, passion, and determination to billions around the world. For the debutants, this is more than a tournament. It's history in the making. New flags, new stories, and new heroes will emerge as they take their first steps onto football's greatest stage. The United States, Canada, and Mexico awaits the world to witness unforgettable moments, stunning goals, and the unifying power of the beautiful game. 48 teams, one trophy, endless possibilities. The FIFA World Cup 2026, where dreams become legends.
Welcome back from that short break. What a game we've had so far from the MetLife Stadium in New York, New Jersey. It's 1-1. One goal to Brazil, one goal to Morocco. Morocco took the lead through a wonderful goal from Ismail Sarabia. A sweet lob over Alisson. And then 10 minutes later, Vinicius Jr. responded. The first time we had seen Vini in the game. But hey, that's why it's Vinicius Jr. And this is the danger that Morocco have. Morocco have dominated the game for most parts. I think they've outplayed Brazil. But it takes just one moment for Brazil to be able to find the sort of form and response that we saw. So we have a very, very exciting second half coming up. I don't know which way this game is going to go. If you do, please do give me a call. Let's talk about it. +234 813 619 7658. Where is this game heading? Who do you think is going to come out in the second half, grab the bull by the horn in this second half, and take control of this group? Morocco have stood their ground against the almighty Brazil. The question I keep asking myself is, if Morocco could play this well away from home, not at home in the US, against the almighty Brazil, why all those dirty tactics during the AFCON? I mean, they've showed absolute class tonight against a solid team like Brazil. They could have won the AFCON without all the... I mean, did they win? Did they not win? Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows right now. But one thing is clear. The class they are showing tonight, if they had showed that throughout the AFCON, and I think any team would have, apart from Senegal, obviously, and Nigeria, potentially, would have struggled to keep up with Morocco. They've been absolutely outstanding in that first half. And, we have a poll that is currently ongoing. I want to get your opinion. Which goal was better? The Sarabia goal or the Vinicius goal? It would be grand to get your view on which goal, if you could put on the shirt of Brazil or Morocco today, which goal would you rather have seen or rather have scored? The goal by Sarabia or the goal by Vinicius? Let us know. Drop your vote. Michael says first half will end 1-1. I don't know whether you said that before or after. But the Samba boys will wrap up the match in the second half. Well, that goes to your earlier prediction that the Samba boys will win 2-1. So I guess you are declaring your own prophecy. So you are reiterating your own prophecy in the second half. So look, let's see how this turns out. We all know Brazil have the firepower to win this game, in one chance, one goal, which is what we saw. I think we only saw Yasin Bonu make a save towards the dying end of the first half, and I think we are seeing Luis Fabiano coming on for Brazil. I'm not quite sure who he's coming on for. So Ibanez and Casemiro are out. Fabiano and Danilo are coming in. It looks like it's like for like. Danilo goes to right back, where Ibanez had been played, and Fabinho. Is it Fabinho or Fabiano? He goes into the middle to replace Casemiro. I think that's a clever move by Ancelotti, because both Bruno Guimaraes and Casemiro had gotten yellow cards in the first half, and with the way Morocco were playing, this game is going to be won depending on who can keep possession. We saw lots of chances created by teams losing possession in the middle of the park, and then people breaking away. So second half is on the way. If we have anything like the first half, then I think we are in for a wonderful, wonderful game in this second half. There was a part of me who wanted to hate watch on Morocco, given some of the antics that are going on in terms of the AFCON and so on and so forth. But the football they play tonight is absolutely beautiful football. They've shown Brazil zero respect, and are really holding their own, really showing to Brazil that you're 6th best in the world, we are 7th best in the world, we do not fear you. But having said that, it's a corner kick to Brazil. Mazraoui has done an excellent job on Rafinha so far. Whether he can keep that up for 90 minutes, it's a question that we are all going to get an answer on in the next 45 minutes or so. Corner to Brazil. I believe this is their second corner of the game. Rafinha is going to take this. As I said, earlier, I believe Brazil have the aerial advantage. They are a much bigger side than Morocco. Gabriel, Thiago, Danilo now, Marquinhos. They clearly have the size advantage over Morocco, and it will be interesting to see whether they can put that to use. It was a bad corner there from Rafinha, but he has a opportunity to lob the ball in for a second time and really put the ball into a position where the big boys in the Brazilian team can really attack. Another corner there, and Morocco just managed to hold their line. The ball is now on the other end with Vinicius. Wonderful tackle, clean tackle there from that wasn't Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz now has the ball. Wonderful tackle there. I think that was from El Anoui, and just cleanly won the ball off Vinicius. He could have no complaints there that there was any free kick. Throw into Morocco. Again, I've said it. The ability of the Moroccans to keep the ball under pressure is just wonderful to watch. Each time it looks like Brazil have hounded them into a tight corner by the touchline, and they just find a way to either win a foul, find another pass, and just wriggle out. It's wonderful to watch. And Bruno Guimaraes really must be careful now. He's committed a foul. I think Bruno is off. I think Bruno Guimaraes, if VAR is having a look at that, I think we might be seeing another card to Bruno here. That was a bad challenge. Well, I've just checked my stats. Bruno didn't get a yellow card in the first half. It was just Ibanez and Casemiro, and Ancelotti has hooked both of them off. It's clear why. And I think Bruno Guimaraes is very, very lucky to not have seen a card issued to him there. It was a bad challenge on Hakimi. Free kick to Morocco. I think Yassine Bonu was just playing for him. We're getting a look at Neymar on the bench. I mean, what fairy tale will it be if Neymar comes off the bench and wins this game for Brazil? But again, Morocco win the ball high up in the Brazilian half. It's happened throughout the game. And now Morocco are really shifting the ball around in the Brazilian half. They are showing zero. I would even go as far as saying they are showing negative fear. No fear whatsoever. Just moving the ball around, waiting for the right time to, and here goes Hakimi again. Waiting for the right time to go for the killer pass. But now Hakimi is out of position and Vinicius has a chance to run. This is the danger. 3 people on Vini, manages to get the cross into the box. But the Moroccan defense stands firm. It's well past 12 a.m. Nigerian time, but I'm here. I'm here to see this one till the end. What a game we have. Ancelotti must be thinking, wow, if Coach Mohamed and his boys can hold this to full time, then I think we are looking at an African team that can really, really, really go far in this tournament. But hey, football is not played in 50 minutes. That was really quick play from Brazil. The ball was hit out to touch and game restarted extremely quickly, and there was a chance there for Igor Thiago. But now in the period where Brazil have the momentum, Rafinha goes past Mazraoui. I think that's Riyad who just manages to stand firm and clears the ball out. I mean, that was quick play there. We're just in a replay. And it was a save from Yassine Bonu. Very good, quick thinking there from Brazil. So immediately restart play. And we nearly saw the third goal of the game. Vinicius really starting to come alive. But again, Morocco stand firm. Their danger man, Brahim Diaz on the ball, slows down the game. And Hakimi just passes the ball to Vini. And in his attempt to win the ball, and Hakimi gets away with that one. It was a very, very loose pass, which could have smelt fatal danger for Morocco there. But Hakimi manages to recover. I mean, Fabinho just body checks Hakimi out of the way there. Clearest free kick that you see. Even the blind would have seen that. 10 minutes into the second half. Still 1-1. Where is the next goal coming from? Our poll is still on. Which goal was better, Sarabia or Vinicius? So far, Sarabia is winning, huh? INEC is yet to declare him the overall winner. But right now, you lot online are letting me know that the Sarabia goal was the sweetest one. And what a goal it was. Ten minutes into the second half, we remain all square at the MetLife Stadium. Brazil won, Morocco won. Brazil in possession. Fabinho finds Danilo. Danilo finds Rafinha. Rafinha back to Danilo. Wonderful defending for Morocco. They double team on Rafinha and just see the ball. They see the ball out to play. Morocco playing with fire there. El Anyoui was nearly. Igor Thiago nearly nicked the ball off him there in a very dangerous position. I mean, if he had lost the ball there, it was 2-1 Brazil. It was a foul, but nothing more to that. Not quite sure why El Anyoui is asking for a yellow card. The ball was there to be won by Igor Thiago, and he was lucky to get away with that one. In any case, free kick to to Morocco. The game is still balanced. And here comes Brahim Diaz. He has wonderful ball carrying skills. Alisson. It's Brazil's turn to play with fire, passing the ball around in their 18-yard box. They get away with it, and a free kick won by Rafinha to take the pressure coming from the Moroccan press. Wonderful play from Brazil restart the game. We're coming up to an hour on the clock in this game. Still 1-1. And Rafinha up against Mazraoui. Fantastic pass there, and Paqueta just fails to take the ball into his stride. Vinicius Junior, Fabinho, Marquinhos, all the way to Douglas Santos. Vinicius. A decent spell of possession here for Brazil. Marquinhos, Danilo, Rafinha. I think Mazraoui has done a good job so far on Rafinha. But Vini has been far more dangerous on the other side of the wing. And here is the man I just spoke about. Vinicius Junior plays a very terrible pass, and Morocco are able to recover. There's Diop, long ball. I think Morocco, given the way the game is currently going, if I was Coach Mohamed, I think it will be time to give the team something different up front, and bring in a point man that will give the team a different outlet as the game wears on. But let's see how the game progresses. They have Ayub El Kabi on the bench, who will do exactly as I'm describing. But here comes Brazil again, and Morocco were one pass away from being broken again. Wonderful, wonderful play from Wadi. Morocco have shown zero fear in the way they are looking to keep the ball. And a couple more changes coming here from Carlo Ancelotti. Paqueta off, and the Man United star Cunha replaces him. Mateus Cunha is on, and Igor Thiago also off. Luis Enrique comes on. So I guess Enrique slots into midfield, and Paqueta becomes the point man. I said Paqueta, sorry. Mateus Cunha becomes the point man up front for Brazil. It's now an attack of up front for Brazil of Rafinha, Cunha, and Vinicius Junior. Both teams trying to force a break. And you know, Morocco are resorting to, Brazil are slowly beginning to dominate the game, dominate possession. Morocco are yet to make any substitutions, are resorting to a lot of more frequent long balls now, going to the point that I made earlier. I think we're at the point where Coach Mohamed needs to be looking to give Morocco a different type of outlet. The Samba boys are slowly beginning to dance to a beat that the Atlas Lions are struggling to keep up with. We're just seeing some blood coming out from Fabinho's mouth, and the referee is telling him he has to go off to get it sorted. I think we're about to see the first changes for Morocco. Number 7, Taubi. Taubi is just about to come on for number 23, El Khanous. And Unahi is also being replaced by number 15, El Morabet. El Morabet and Talbion. Unahi and El Kanuzov. Oh, it's Brian Diaz. Very surprised. He's taking up Brian Diaz. Very interesting substitution there from Coach Mohammed. He's taking up Brian Diaz for Taubi, and Unahi is off for El Morabet. It will be interesting to see who up front now is able to keep possession in the way that we've seen from Brian Diaz. It's a very, very interesting substitution there, taking off Diaz. I think it's fair to say the Brazil's momentum now has been sustained for quite a while, and they're having control of this game. We're just seeing Rafinha swap wings for the first time. Fantastic crossing there. Ball falls to Enrique. Another chance to get the ball in the box. It's all Brazil right now. It's all Brazil. Morocco need to find an outlet. The one outlet, the main outlet they had before, is now off the pitch. And here comes Brazil again. Fantastic crossing there from, that was Rafinha. He woofed the ball into the box. No, sorry, it was Bruno Guimaraes. Whooped the ball into the box, but Rafinha couldn't. Just arriving a bit too late. And Morocco are able to survive. Morocco need to do something. Coach Mohammed needs to do something here. If not, it's only a matter of time before Morocco concede. They need to find an outlet. Remember, if you're joining us for the very first time, do us the favor of hitting the subscribe button and stay with the vivxsports community throughout the World Cup. Hydration break, which signifies that we are halfway through the second half. We will take a very, very short break and we'll be back once the players are done having some water into their systems. See you shortly.
When the world comes together under one roof and speaks the same language, there can only be one common factor: football. Reaching a historic milestone with 48 nations competing on football's grandest stage, the biggest tournament in football history. It's the 2026 FIFA World Cup. From football powerhouses to fearless newcomers, every nation arrives with one dream: to lift the most coveted trophy in world football. Africa stands proud, sending 10 of its strongest contingent to the global stage. From established giants to rising contenders, the continent stars are ready to showcase their talent, passion, and determination to billions around the world. For the debutants, This is more than a tournament. It's history in the making. New flags, new stories, and new heroes will emerge as they take their first steps onto football's greatest stage. The United States, Canada, and Mexico awaits the world to witness unforgettable moments, stunning goals, and the unifying power of the beautiful game. 48 teams, one trophy, endless possibilities. The FIFA World Cup 2026, where dreams become legends. It's time for the Mundial. When the world comes together under one roof and speaks the same language, there can only be one common factor: football.
Are we back? The players have just completed their hydration break, as we have during this World Cup. Temperatures are as high as 36 degrees. And as you can imagine, playing football under those conditions, never ever going to be the easiest thing to do. We hope there's some re-energization in the legs of Morocco, because in this second half, Brazil have really had sustained momentum in possession, in attack, and in potency, and we're now beginning to see less and less of the Atlas Lions, who need to. A fantastic pass there from Hakimi. Morocco seem to be showing signs of coming back into the game, and a chance here. They seem to be showing signs that, and it's offside. Sarabia was offside. They seem to be showing signs that just offside. They seem to be showing signs that the form and pressing and potency they showed in the first half may likely be coming out again. Brazil back in possession. We're past the 70-minute mark now. I think that hydration break came at a good time for the Moroccan team, because Brazil were really stepping on the gas. They've had a chance to regroup, re-energize, have a bit of a break, and seem to have come out with a bit more life. But I genuinely think that Morocco needs something different on the pitch now. Hakimi has done well to win I was just seeing I show speed on on TV, getting handshakes there from the president of PSG, Ronaldo and Roberto Carlos. He's become a real world superstar now. Fantastic play there from Morocco. Is he going to be able to spread that? I think that was Sarabia. Does well to keep possession. Ball now on the left wing of Morocco. Fantastic pass there. Ball it. Well cleared out. I think that was from Fabinho. Some sign of life from Morocco, who since the hydration break have come out with some lease of life. They're back in possession again. Ball all the way back to Yassine Bonu. And Brazil force the Moroccan defense to huff the ball all the way up front to their defense. Brazil now in possession. Vini Jr. Who is going to win this game? Chances in this second half have been few and far between. Brazil have had the momentum, but have created very little so far. I can't recall a save from Yassine Bonu in this second half. Brazil have absolutely had the upper hand, but Vini just gave the ball away there, and Morocco are grateful to have the ball back. We're now into the territory of one golden chance could win this game. One mistake, one moment of brilliance, and either of these teams could be smiling away from match day one with 3 points that really puts them in charge of this Group C. The other teams in the group, Scotland and Haiti, play after this game. Haiti making their debut. Scotland back in the World Cup since, I believe, 1998. Fantastic turn there from Sarabia. The moment of brilliance I spoke about there nearly showed up. What a turn from Sarabia, the Moroccan goal scorer. And he almost created a chance out of nothing there for the Atlas Lions. And I see a couple more changes coming out from the Moroccan bench. I will be happy to see Ayoub, just to give the Brazilians something different to think about. It doesn't look like Ayoub is going to be coming on. Wonderful pass there to Vini. Chance. First save for Yassine Bonu. And for the first time we're seeing Vini and Rafinha combined. And Rafinha was very unlucky there that the shot was directly at Yassine Bonu. Anywhere else, Morocco were in trouble. Anywhere else, that shot headed to, Morocco were in trouble. And we are having another impromptu hydration break here, as I think Yassine Bonu is tactically slowing down the game by feigning an injury. We are seeing a couple more changes from Coach Mohamed of Morocco. Mazraoui, who I think has had an excellent game today. Comes off. So does El Kandoui. We're having a string of substitutions here. For Brazil, Bruno Guimaraes comes off. And Danilo Oliveira comes in. 10 minutes to go. I guess there will be no, what do I know? I'm here sat in a studio. I'm no football coach. But it doesn't look like Ayub El Kabi is going to be seeing any action today. I guess for Morocco, a draw from this game is an absolutely fantastic result. It's then up to both teams to score as many goals as they can against Scotland and Haiti. Scotland is not going to be any pushover. They have a very, very strong team. But these are the two teams you expect to come out in the top two position. And Danilo Oliveira gets his first touch of the ball. And Mateus Cunha drives into the box there. And he's well stopped. He's well stopped by the number 6 of Morocco, Bouadi, who I think has had an absolutely excellent game today. Has been very confident in possession. I don't think I've seen his energy levels drop throughout the game. He has really been a shield for Morocco in midfield, as well as done a lot to retain possession for the Atlas Lions under pressure. Eight minutes of normal time left, and almost a mistake there from Riyad. Issa Riyad almost gave the game there to that would have been a very sad way to lose the game. Very, very sad. Fantastic reactions from Yassine Bonu to ensure that Rafinha didn't get there before him. But Issa Riyad, you're a lucky boy. Oh, sorry, I'm mixing up. It's Issa Diop. A lucky boy. Yassine Bonu is showing all his experience here now. He's really breaking up play. He knows that Brazil have the upper hand. I think this is probably the third time in this second half that Yassine Bonu has gone down. I mean, look at that challenge again. There was a bit of a collision with Rafinha, but I don't think it's. I mean, it did catch him at the top of his neck. I think Rafinha did leave a bit of. That was a bit naughty of Rafinha. So maybe it's fair that Yassine Bonu is down. But I think there's also an element of giving his teammates a chance to recover. a chance to regroup, a chance to reorganize, and ensure that Brazil are not able to build up any head of steam and any momentum that could result in a goal. He's not going to sub off, that one is for sure. And we are seeing the great Zinedine Zidane. The great Zinedine Zidane is in New York for this game. Five more minutes. Luis Enrique is trying to do a Zidane. I believe Zidane won the UEFA Champions League 3 times in a row, if I remember correctly. And Luis Enrique has done 2. So can he make it a hat-trick next year with PSG? Because I was just saying that Boadi, I think, for me, my man of the match, my contenders, Boadi is up there, Sarabia is up there, Brahim Diaz is up there, and probably Vinicius Jr. For me, the man of the player of the match has to come out from one of those 4 players. I mean, Morocco have been excellent retaining possession under pressure. I mean, it's just brilliant to watch. Absolutely brilliant to watch. Have been able to smuggle themselves out of tight positions multiple times. Really impressive, Boadi. Morocco have probably kept possession for the last 90 seconds. Brazil are simply chasing shadows. And they nearly win a corner for that, but hey, possession is back in Morocco again. If you can't take fouls, keep the ball. You don't lose the game if you keep the ball, and that's what Morocco are doing excellently here. And Brazil, who have been chasing the ball for 2 minutes, you can see their energy levels dropping off now. Fantastic play for Morocco, I must say. And finally, Issa Diop plays a long ball, and Brazil finally is back with Morocco again. I mean, Morocco have done a fantastic job. And here's the chance. Well dealt with by Marquinhos. Morocco have really played wonderful football since the hydration break. And I think the goal scorer is coming off. Ismail Sarabia. A goal he will remember for a very long time. Wonderful play from him. Sarabia is off and Rahimi is on. Number 9. Final substitution for Morocco. And for the last 3-4 minutes, Morocco have really shut out the potency of Brazil by just excellent ball retention. Excellent ball retention. Again, Boadi just under pressure, wins a very clever free kick. Very clever free kick. In the last 5 minutes, Brazil will probably have just had possession of the ball for nothing more than 15 seconds in the last 5 minutes. It's been all Morocco. We're into the final minutes of this wonderful game. It's been wonderful watching an African team play such excellent football. Excellent football. Not, employing a low block, not sitting back, really taking Brazil pound for pound in terms of their ability on the ball. And, standing their ground. As I said, over the last 5 minutes, Brazil have probably just had the ball for probably 20 seconds. But we've just seen the amount of additional time. 10 minutes of additional time. 10 minutes. All the line down that Yasin Bono was doing, the ref has kept count of it. And we have 10 more minutes. Plenty of time for a goal. And Brazil finally have possession. Wonderful pass there to Rafinha. Into the box. Can he find someone? And Morocco just managed to hold on. Brazil still in possession. Bad pass to Vinicius. And Morocco recover. Issa Diop. Back to Yasin Bonu, who clears all the way up to the center circle. Ball is back with Brazil again. The Samba boys can finally play some tunes. Vinicius takes on Hakimi. Wonderful defending from Hakimi. But Brazil win a corner kick. Corner kick to Brazil. And the Samba boys are smelling danger. Any goal now wins the game. Mateus Cunha to whip the ball in. Waiting for the corner kick to be played. He whips it in. Well cleared out by Morocco. Back with Cunha. He drives again for the byline. Wins another corner kick. Quality tackle there from Brahimi. And Cunha will get another chance to whip the ball in. And Brazil are piling into the box. As I said, in terms of size, they have the aerial advantage there. Morocco survive. Ball is coming back again. Chance. And Yasin Bonu. Enrique had a wonderful opportunity there. A good turn, but he had to rush his shot and straight into the arms of Yasin, the grateful arms of Yasin Bonu. Brazil will be looking to maintain that level of threat for the rest of the game, but here comes Morocco into the box of the Brazilians. Brahimi, wonderful turn, puts a cross in, but there's no one there. And the ball is back with you-know-who, Wadi. Wonderful distribution. Hakimi. Wadi. Issa Diop. Wonderful pass. Rahimi is really, and that's it. That has to be a foul. That has to be a foul by by Gabriel on Rahimi, who has now won a free kick in a very, very dangerous position. I think Gabriel just needed to just shield his man. But he chose to try and win the ball, to nudge him. And now Morocco have a free kick in a very... Oh, it's a corner kick. Corner kick to Morocco. 5 minutes on the clock. 5 minutes to go. Alisson Becker has had a very quiet game in the second half. El Morabet swings the ball in. And Brazil stand firm, and I think that's Danilo who wins that header. Throw into Morocco. A chance for Cunha to break out, but Morocco do well to win possession. Five minutes to go. Will there be one more golden opportunity in this game? Morocco have Brazil where when they want them, in their half, struggling to find possession. All the way back to Yassine Bonu, who takes no prisoners and just lofts the ball all the way up. Very bad header from Gabriel, but Fabinho recovers. Free kick to Morocco. They've showed no fear. We've heard the roar of the Atlas Lions very loud and clear at the MetLife. The Samba boys have not been able to dance unfiltered. If this game ends a draw, I don't think anybody will be thinking it's undeserved. But can there be one more chance? One more test? One more bit of creativity? The fans are saying their prayers. They know the implication of a goal now. Any goal now wins the match. Ball in, terrible free kick. Straight into the arms of Alisson Becker. I think that's the only action that Alisson has had all through the second half. And he just hoists the ball all the way to his opposing number. And Yassine Bonu is in no hurry to restart the game. He also hoists the ball all the way forward. Morocco managed to retain possession. I mean, as I've said, you just have to be impressed with the ball retention of Morocco. It's been absolutely excellent. 2 minutes to play. Ball back with Morocco. Hakimi. A chance. Oh, what the? He drops the ball. Almost there. Almost a goal for Morocco. Almost a goal there for Morocco. Alisson Becker spills the shot. Well placed shot there. Alisson spills it. I'm just trying to check. A late recovery there. Morocco could have stolen the game. The ball seemed to be going out. Alisson went for it and spills the ball. And number 21 Corner kick to Morocco. Can they steal it in the last minute? Corner comes in, beats everybody. Morocco retain possession. Ball back into the box. Cleared away by Brazil. Morocco recover again. It's all Morocco at the moment. And they do the clever thing to retain possession, recycle possession all the way back to Yasin Bonu. Almost a soccer punch there for Morocco. Almost. Boadi has been completely excellent, and with that final dribble, the referee blows his whistle. It's the end of the game. Brazil won, Morocco won. What a game we've seen. I think the Moroccans can hold their heads up high in pride, in happiness. What a game they've played. What a game. They've stood toe to toe with Brazil. They've had moments where they've dominated this game. And I think no one can begrudge Morocco the point that they have tonight. We are proud as Africans to see one of our teams play this standard of football against a world giant like Brazil. The last 20 minutes, Morocco must have had possession for at least 80 to 85% of the time. Going to the dominance I mentioned around ball possession and retention. Excellent for Morocco. This is vivxsports. Thank you for staying with us through the game. I'm here to take your thoughts before we call it a night. Give us a call on +234 813 6197 658. Let me know what you think about Morocco. Let me know what you think about Brazil. Was this Morocco being good or Brazil being bad? I know my answer. The Moroccans were absolutely excellent. But I'd like to hear from you just before we wrap it up. There are 2 more games still on tonight. The other teams in this group, Scotland and Haiti, clash. Both of them know that they must get victories tonight if they're going to stand any chance of being in the 2 automatic positions that get into the round of 32. What a game. 2 beautiful goals. Africa has its first goal at this World Cup. A beauty from Ismail Sarabia, and a very proud first point in this tournament for Morocco against Brazil. What a wonderful, wonderful game we've seen. If this is the way the World Cup is going to be in terms of action on the pitch, I think over the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to be in for a treat. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this with you tonight from our studios in Lagos here at vivxsports. We've seen a wonderful game between Brazil and Morocco. We have many, many more games coming up. On Tuesday, we have a repeat of the opening game at the 2002 World Cup in Korea and Japan, where Senegal upset France. Those 2 teams clash again on Tuesday, and we're going to be here cooking that game up. Senegal, another of Africa's great hopes. Will they be able to do what Morocco has done tonight? We look forward to finding out with you on Tuesday. Till then, stay blessed.
Reaching a historic milestone with 48 nations competing on football's grandest stage. the biggest tournament in football history. It's the 2026 FIFA World Cup. From football powerhouses to fearless newcomers, every nation arrives with one dream: to lift the most coveted trophy in world football. Africa stands proud, sending 10 of its strongest contingent to the global stage. From established giants to rising contenders, the continent stars are ready to showcase their talent, passion, and determination to billions around the world. For the debutants, this is more than a tournament. It's history in the making. New flags, new stories, and new heroes will emerge as they take their first steps onto football's greatest stage. The United States, Canada, and Mexico awaits the world to witness unforgettable moments, stunning goals, and the unifying power of the beautiful game. 48 teams, one trophy, endless possibilities. The FIFA World Cup 2026, where dreams become legends. It's time for the Mundial. When the world comes together under one roof and speaks the same language, there can only be one common factor: football. Reaching a historic milestone with 48 nations competing on football's grandest stage, the biggest tournament in football history. It's the 2026 FIFA World Cup. From football powerhouses to fearless newcomers, every nation arrives with one dream: to lift the most coveted trophy in world football. Africa stands proud, sending 10 of its strongest contingent to the global stage. From established giants to rising contenders, the continent stars are ready to showcase their talent, passion, and determination to billions around the world. For the debutants, this is more than a tournament. It's history in the making. New flags, new stories, and new heroes will emerge as they take their first steps onto football's greatest stage. The United States, Canada, and Mexico awaits the world to witness unforgettable moments, stunning goals, and the unifying power of the beautiful game. 48 teams, one trophy, endless possibilities. The FIFA World Cup 2026, where dreams become legends.